Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We've got this plan for a landing page.
Uh-huh.
It's for Flophon.eu,
Okay.
and it's all about this telephone AI assistant they're developing.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so this plan lays out their whole vision for 2025,
Cool.
and it's targeted at like everybody.
Really?
Yeah, from self-employed people all the way up to, big companies.
Wow.
And the really cool part,
Yeah.
they want to showcase this AI assistant
Okay.
with videos,
Interesting.
like actually showing it in action in different scenarios.
That's smart.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big idea. Let's dig into the details and see how they're going to make this thing really sing.
Okay.
So one of the things that jumped out at me right away was the design philosophy.
Yeah.
They're going all in on minimalism.
Okay.
Think like Apple's website,
Yeah.
Dropbox, that kind of
Right.
thing.
Very clean.
Exactly. It's all about clarity and speed.
Makes sense.
But they're not stopping there. They're taking it a step further with this concept called interactive minimalism.
Interactive minimalism.
Yeah, it's like minimalism, but with subtle interactive elements.
I see.
Like imagine hovering your mouse over something and the color shifts slightly.
Okay.
Or a smooth animation as you scroll down the page.
Gotcha.
A studio called Rally Interactive.
I've heard of them.
They do this really well.
Makes sense.
It keeps things engaging without being overwhelming.
Right.
And then there's the typography.
Oh, yeah. Words matter.
Big time.
Mm.
They're planning to use bold, clear fonts,
Okay.
like what MailChimp does,
I see.
to really highlight the key messages.
Makes sense.
But the biggest thing they're emphasizing is mobile first.
Of course.
Most people are browsing the web on their phones these days.
For sure.
So it's got to be flawless on a smaller screen.
Absolutely.
Vitally is a company that's nailing this mobile first approach.
Yeah, they're doing great work.
So Flophon.eu, they're really thinking about the user experience, and they're embracing some smart trends to make this landing page effective.
Yeah.
And it's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
It's about guiding people towards taking action.
Exactly.
So let's talk about those best practices for high converting landing pages.
Okay. I'm all ears.
So first things first, they've got their goals clearly defined.
Like, what do they want people to do on this page?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it to request a demo,
Uh-huh.
download a white paper,
Right.
sign up for a newsletter?
Okay.
They're also super aware that different audiences have different
Makes
needs.
sense.
So they're tailoring the messaging accordingly,
Okay.
whether you're self-employed,
Right.
a small business, or a large enterprise.
Got it.
They're not just throwing out generic information.
So how are they going to achieve that?
Well, they're planning to use storytelling,
Okay.
headlines that focus on specific problems,
Yeah.
and content that highlights the benefits.
Interesting.
But here's the kicker.
What's up?
They're going all in on video.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Exactly. Instead of just telling you about the AI assistant, they're going to show you.
Powerful.
Right? It looks like a mini demo right there on the landing page.
Yeah.
And the key here is clarity.
Uh-huh.
They're going to get crystal clear what action they want you to take.
Those calls to action.
Exactly. The CTAs.
Got it.
They'll be strategically placed
Yeah.
and super compelling.
Okay.
And when you're ready to take the next step,
Yeah.
the forms are going to be short and sweet.
No one likes filling out long forms.
Nobody. They also want to build trust
Important.
through things like testimonials and social proof.
Yeah. Show that other people are using and loving this AI.
Exactly. And all of this sits on a foundation of a smooth user experience.
Right. It's got to be easy to navigate and use.
Absolutely. A clear layout,
Yeah.
lots of white space, fast loading times,
Okay.
and of course, seamless mobile responsiveness.
It all comes together.
But so we've talked about the design and the best practices.
Right.
But what about the technology behind it all?
Yeah, that's a good question.
How are they going to actually build this thing?
So they're going for a one-page design,
Write everything on a single page.
which means they need a really performance setup.
Exactly.
So I'd imagine they're going to use modern JavaScript frameworks,
Okay.
something like React or Vue.js.
I've heard of those.
Yeah, they're great for building interactive web applications.
Okay.
And for a site like this, where speed is crucial, they might even use a static site generator,
Like what?
like Next.js or Gatsby.
Interesting.
These tools pre-build the site so it loads incredibly fast.
That makes sense.
Now for the videos.
Yeah, those are a big part of the plan.
Absolutely. I think it would be wise to use a third-party video hosting platform.
Like what?
The big names, YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia.
Right.
It just makes things so much easier in terms of reliability and optimization.
Yeah.
And when it comes to embedding those videos on the page, they need to make sure it's seamless.
Right.
No clunky players or anything. And video compression is key.
Oh, yeah, so they load quickly.
Exactly. No one wants to wait for a video to buffer.
For sure.
And a technique called lazy loading can be really helpful here.
Lazy loading.
Yeah, it means the video only starts to load when you scroll down to it. So it doesn't slow down the initial page load.
Smart.
And of course, they need to think about accessibility.
Like subtitles.
Yes, subtitles, keyboard controls.
Make sure everyone can enjoy the videos.
Exact.
So they're clearly thinking about the technical side of things.
Yeah, they're going to need a solid foundation to make this landing page really shine.
I'm curious, are there any other companies doing this kind of thing well?
Oh yeah, there are tons of great examples out there.
Like who?
Well, there's this trend of conversational landing pages.
Conversational.
Yeah, where they use AI assistants to answer questions right on the page.
That's cool.
It's like having a virtual salesperson guiding you through the content.
Interesting.
Companies like Voltage, Milo, Avero, Visualist, they're all experimenting with this.
I'll have to check them out.
And then you have SaaS companies with AI features.
Software as a service.
Exactly. Companies like Jasper, AI, Miro, Conversica.
I've heard of some of those.
They often use those sticky CTAs we talked about.
Right, the ones that follow you as you scroll.
Yeah, and they have concise video demos that showcase the AI in action.
Makes sense.
And they make sure to highlight social proof.
Testimonials and stuff.
Exactly. Build that trust.
So what are some of the universal best practices we can learn from these successful landing pages?
Well, across the board, you see clear headlines that grab your attention.
Okay.
Benefit-driven descriptions that tell you exactly how it will help you.
Right.
Strong calls to action that tell you what to do next.
Uh-huh.
And social proof that builds credibility.
It's like a solid recipe.
It is, and companies like Apollo.io, Chili Piper, Twilio, Shopify, they're all doing this really well.
Cool. So let's bring it back to Flophon.eu.
Yeah, let's see how they're putting all these pieces together.
How's this landing page actually going to be structured?
All right, so they're starting strong with what's called the hero area.
Your hero area.
Yeah, it's like the top section of the page, the first thing you see.
Okay.
They're going to have an attention-grabbing headline.
Make you stop and look.
Exactly, and a subtitle that highlights the benefits.
For different target groups.
Right, tailored messaging for everyone.
All right.
Then they'll have a short teaser video.
Show off the AI.
Yep. Give you a taste of what it can do.
Cool.
And a prominent call to action.
Probably something like request a demo.
Yeah, or learn more, something like that.
Okay.
Then they'll dive into the details.
Explain the value proposition.
Exactly, with sections dedicated to each target audience.
Self-employed SMEs, large enterprises.
You got it.
And I bet they'll be using those benefit-driven descriptions we talked about.
For sure, highlighting how the AI can solve specific problems for each group.
Like for SMEs, they might mention things like improved customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
Optimized order processing, streamlined table reservations.
Exactly, those tangible benefits.
Okay, but the real meat of this landing page,
The video.
those video demonstrations.
They're planning 3 key scenarios.
Laid it on me.
First, an FAQ bot.
So the AI answering common customer questions.
Exactly like a 24/7 support agent.
Cool.
Second, online shop or e-commerce support.
Okay.
Think order status tracking, returns, handling.
Automating all that.
Yeah, making it super easy for customers.
Nice.
And third, restaurant table reservations.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, imagine the AI handling all those calls and bookings.
Streamlining the whole process.
Exactly.
So they're really focusing on showing how this AI can be applied in real-world situations.
Yeah, those videos are going to be crucial.
Now, what about building trust?
Oh, yeah, they've got a plan for that, too.
Good.
They're going to have a section dedicated to social proof.
Testimonials, customer logos.
All of that, maybe some awards or statistics.
Show that they're the real deal.
Exactly. And throughout the page,
Yeah.
they'll be strategically placing those calls to action.
Guiding people towards the desired outcome.
Yeah, exactly. And the CTAs will be crystal clear.
No ambiguity.
Nope, you'll know exactly what to do.
And then at the bottom, the footer.
The unsung hero,
What's going to be down there?
all the essential info.
Like what?
Privacy policy, contact
The
details.
legal stuff.
Yep, gotta have it.
Okay, so we've got the content covered.
Right.
But what about the visual design?
They're sticking with that minimalist approach we talked about.
Lots of white space,
Yep, clean typography,
a limited color palette.
high quality visuals.
It's all about creating a sense of calm and clarity.
Exactly.
And of course, those videos will be seamlessly integrated.
With all the optimization we talked about.
Strategic placement, playback options, performance optimization.
And don't forget, lazy loading.
Right, and fallback options in case someone's internet is slow.
Gotta cover all the bases.
And last but not least,
Mobile responsiveness.
make or break factor.
Absolutely. It's gotta be perfect on any device.
So they'll have a responsive layout,
Yep.
mobile optimized content.
The whole shebang.
So in a nutshell,
Yeah.
they're creating a modern minimalist landing page that's all about showcasing this AI assistant through video demonstrations,
And it's tailored to different user needs.
built on best practices for conversion.
And leveraging efficient technology.
It's like a masterclass in landing page design.
Almost.
This all leads to a final thought for our listeners.
I'm listening.
When you encounter new technologies online,
Yeah.
what kind of design and content strategies really grab your attention and make you want to learn more?
That's a good question.
And how important is it to see the technology applied in specific relatable situations?
Yeah. Does it help you understand the value better?
Food for thought.
It is.
Until next time,
See ya.
guys.